Welcome back, or welcome for the first time. But this is the 13th video of a series, 33 alcohol free. Maybe you just want to know about your incredible body and your incredible mind. What are you drinking tonight? Cheers. Tell me what you're drinking underneath in the comments. Better not be motor oil. Yes, I've got tea tonight. Something different than my normal red juice. I'm feeling better today. I said I was feeling sick yesterday. Well, I took my vitamin C and echinacea. I slept well. Got up at a good time. Didn't go to the gym, but I did play my bass. I've got blisters. I'm getting skills, getting better. So it's good that I'm picking it up rather than trying to pick myself up off the ground after falling down drunk. Take care of your invisible body, incredible body. Your invisible body. Where'd my body go? Start again. Take care of your incredible body. It is the most amazing thing you own. And it is the only place you truly have to live. My body is the most amazing thing that I own. It's the only place I get to live. That quote is by Anonymous. I only get to live in this here. It's a vehicle. And I guess it's, am I looking after it? Am I preempting what this chapter is about? Maybe I should start exercising. If you don't know what I'm talking about, during this series I joined a gym. But I haven't been yet. But I am doing alcohol free. 33 days. Anyway, get back to the reading, Paul. Today, I want to take a minute to celebrate the incredible miracle that is you. You miracle, you. Most of us don't take the time to think about how amazing our bodies and our brains are. Let's be open-minded, but not so open-minded our amazing brain falls out. Think about all the incredible physical and mental feats we can perform. I can't do many physical feats at the moment, but I'm taking for granted I can walk upstairs. Some people cannot do that. I can sit in this chair comfortably. I do have an amazing body, really. I do take for granted how able I am. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Our brains are more powerful than supercomputers. In fact, you and me, no, maybe human beings created supercomputers. We've developed cures for diseases. We've even propelled ourselves off this planet and onto the moon. Now that's amazing. Or are you into some conspiracy theories? I like reading about conspiracy theories. They're fun. But I think we landed on the moon. Or we just jumped parallel time universes and now the universe I'll shut up. I'll keep reading. Is there anything we can't do if we put our minds to it? Is there anything we can't do? Our minds are powerful, and since we don't fully understand their power, we can sometimes work, they can sometimes work against us. We don't know the power of our brain. It can work against us. We've already discussed our mind's incredible ability to hinder our growth and progress, but it's so important to understand that I want to go into more detail here. Okay, this is going to be interesting. Neuropsychologists have shown that we actually create what we anticipate. We create what we anticipate. We're going to start getting into some law of attraction, quantum physics. Hopefully, I like reading that stuff. When we anticipate something negative, it becomes reality. You can attract negative with negative thoughts. Is that true? She better back it up with science. When we anticipate something negative, it becomes a reality. Okay? And so, for example, if you anticipate that giving up drinking is going to be difficult, then you're going to be deprived and not have any fun, then that becomes your reality. Okay, it's not law of attraction getting a car. It's law of attraction expectations of emotions, which is interesting. If I'm going to an event, if I'm anticipating being nervous, I guess, am I setting myself up that my body will start releasing those sort of chemicals? Question mark. I don't know. Some people call this the placebo effect, and it's absolutely real. Yeah, the placebo effect. Good band, Placebo. Every you and every me. But science is very interesting. If you don't know about the placebo effect, Google it. I haven't got time to talk about it, but I'll talk about the band Placebo. They're good too. Have a Google. There was an interesting study done in which some people were exposed to poison ivy. Doctors rubbed poison ivy on one arm of each participant and told them that it was actually a plain leaf. Then they rubbed a plain leaf on each participant's other arm and told them that it was poison ivy. All but 2 people experienced an allergic reaction to the plain leaf and did not react at all to the actual poison ivy. So that's pretty amazing. I read weird science stuff about this guy who had split personalities, and weirdly enough, one of his personalities was allergic to, I think it was vitamin C. So therefore, when he was going between his personality types, when he was, let's say, Fred, who's allergic to vitamin C, he would get the symptoms of being allergic to vitamin C. But when Fred went away and George came in, George was not allergic to vitamin C. So when George's personality was present, there was no effects. See, that's it's the same brain, but that's taking it to the next level. It's like I don't know. I should maybe Google to make sure that what I'm saying is true. It's a really old science experiment that's in my brain somewhere. And it popped up. Thought I'd tell you. Isn't that interesting? It is. Crazy. Our brain and our thinking and how much our beliefs can, you know what I'm saying. If someone brushes up against poison ivy in nature, they will have an reaction. There is a physical reaction that happens when those chemical compounds come in contact with the skin. You get an itchy rash. Yet, if your brain believes that nothing should happen, then nothing happens. Oh yeah, crazy. If your brain is strong enough to overcome a reaction to exposure to chemical compound in poison ivy, it's also strong enough to ensure you are miserable at a party if you decided you will be miserable without drinking. Okay, so I'll go to a party. So we'll keep it at this level. Let's not go too woo-woo. So me going to a party, believing it's going to be crap because I'm not drinking, I will be looking for that. As well as I might attract people that are a bit sad. So therefore, they say people who are like each other. So therefore, I won't be hanging out with the drunk people because I'll be like, they're just silly. And there'll be some people not drinking. Would I gravitate towards the ones who are like, I don't want to be here? So therefore, creating a sad, non-party-like atmosphere. Question mark. I don't know. So, healing the pharmacy within. Your brain and your brain's function is to ensure you survive and thrive. We're thriving. Consider that for a moment. This amazing living computer is not meant to ingest large amounts of alcohol every single day. Okay, my body's not designed to cope with that. Hence, the spewing and throwing up because your body's trying to stay alive, maybe. If it were, it would have built into our physiology. Instead, we have an infinite, incredible pharmacy within us. We deliver all the right emotions and chemicals that we need to live a healthy and balanced life. In the right doses at the right times. If body's pretty amazing. Consider the fight or flight response. If you're being attacked by a bear, in the wilderness, your body responds to help you escape that bear. Your heart starts beating faster. Oh, there's a bear. You become lighter on your feet. Wow, I didn't realize I could run so fast. Parents have been able to pick up very heavy objects that have landed on their children because our bodies can release chemicals to make us 10, 20, or even 30 times stronger than normal if we need to be in an extreme moment. We're living with a governor. Like, we can always get 10% of our true ability, and the pain and so forth would stop us pushing in. But if your child's under a car, I've heard a story where a guy lifted a car up off a child. In that moment, our body is amazing. What are we actually capable of? Our brains and our bodies can do such incredible stuff, and so often we overlook it. There's a lot of talk these days about loving ourselves. You love yourself too. Give yourself a little caress. Ooh, my nipple. Love yourself. And certainly we need to love ourselves. But, get back to it. You're being a bit silly tonight. I'm talking to me. But we confuse loving ourselves with thinking that we're beautiful, sexy, talented, or good at all these external things. Annie says, in her opinion, that is not truly loving herself. When you have a child, you love that child not because of their behavior. Sometimes you love them when they got the bratty behavior. Only a parent could love that child. But simply because they exist. They exist. You want to feed that child good food and take care of their body because you want them to be healthy. We need to love ourselves as we love our children. Well, I haven't got any children. I haven't experienced this kind of love. But I know what she's saying. Loving ourselves includes getting to know yourself, accepting yourself, and making a conscious decision not to take your health for granted. You are the person that will be spending the most time with. Yeah, you are the person you'll be spending the most time with for the rest of your life. Sorry, me. You should feel sorry for me. I've got to hang out with this 24/7. You've only got an hour a day at the moment. So stop judging yourself and take a minute to appreciate the true, miraculous nature of this body and mind that you've been given. We need to take care of ourselves out of love and compassion and remembering that we were created whole and complete with everything we need, not only to survive, but to thrive. May not be thriving at the moment, but like I said in the last video, we're creating a new environment. So this is a big shift for ourselves. Not drinking is like changing the soil for a plant. So I'm interested to see, without even trying to, or yelling at the plant, I get angry at myself for not sprouting, just focusing on changing little things, and the environment changes, and then therefore the plant will naturally grow by itself. Getting angry at it will not help it grow. Getting angry at it, meaning you getting angry at yourself. Me getting angry at me. We're choosing to change our environment, and I've got a feeling just changing our environment, other things will shift as well. I may go to the gym. Maybe. By the end of this video series, I have better have gone at least once. We love our bodies out of gratitude because they keep us alive and healthy, and because they house our personalities, or several personalities in some people's case, like I was talking before. The very essence of who we are, our personalities, the very essence. Oof, we're getting into soul, spirit thinking. Some of the most impressive people in the world don't drink. Okay? Not because they've had a problem with it, but simply because they naturally don't want to put alcohol into their bodies. It's not a natural substance. Not a lot of animals choose to poison themselves. I think some monkeys eat fermented berries and they get drunk. But we're an interesting species. We're in the top. We're supposed to be the smartest. Yet we're slowly decaying ourselves. I should keep reading. Jim Carrey once said, "I'm very serious about no alcohol, no drugs. Life is too beautiful." Okay, go Jim Carrey. So today, take some time to appreciate how amazing your body is. Give it a great big thank you, body. You're keeping me alive. Thanks, buddy. Just realizing that our personalities, our spirit, our soul, or whatever you want to call it, is housed within this thing. And it is an amazing thing. What did other people have to say about these thoughts. Priscilla. Is that Priscilla, Queen of the Desert? I have never really considered how lucky I am to have the body I do. I should really be filled with joy and gratitude for the 48 years my body has gotten me through with very few complaints. I've never thanked it, appreciated it, given it unconditional love. And yet it keeps doing its best for me every day, every minute, every second. Your body's doing its best to keep you having the best chance possible. A thankless, never-ending job that hasn't been easy. The booze, cigarettes, lack of sleep, physical exertion, stress, etc. over the years, and yet the body comes out swinging every day to do its best for me. Come on, woo! I have completely taken my body for granted. I've only pummeled it and criticized it my whole life. Come on, thunder thighs, you got fat thighs. Just criticizing yourself. That is just so sad. I treat my body worse than I would ever treat someone I hated. Let me be grateful for this body I've been given and appreciate it every day by being conscious of how I treat it and what I put in it. Realization of what we're doing. Jonathan, hey, what do you say, Jono? I'm just starting to get a glimpse of how wondrous and unlimited life could be if I wasn't groveling around in the mud every day with alcohol, like a pig, and hangovers, and that then leads me to realize how much precious time and life I've wasted in the last 35 years. We sort of have fun for the first 1 or 2 hours, but then if you're having a big drinking session, like could go 6, 7 all night, how much of that time is wasted? Think of, like, when was your last big sesh, like a long, yeah, how much of that night was fun and how much of it was just waste? But that's the reason why people drink, is they do want to waste. They want to numb and they want to obliviate that ego, that side of them. I was just wanting to have a break from the reality I've created for myself. It's true. Let's talk about the awareness, clarity, turnaround of, is alcohol healthy in moderation? We all know that drinking too much is bad for us. We know in a very general, fuzzy sort of way, but science? We've all seen so many reports and studies that prove it's healthy for us in moderation, right? Yeah, I've stopped before, and then I read in a book that 1 glass of red wine is really good for you at night. And I was gonna do 1 glass of red wine and to be healthy, and that ended up being 1 bottle of red wine a night. It should still be healthy, right? And then it snowballed from there. Beer lowers our risk for heart disease, right? Red wine is good for my heart, and it also has the ability to improve cholesterol, fight free radical damage, help manage diabetes, fight obesity, and prevent cognitive decline. That's why I thought I'd do the red wine, 1 glass a night. Fight all those things. Doesn't it? Let's find out. She's gonna smash my belief. alcohol is healthy in moderation. That's my belief. Okay, let's dig into this one. Clarity. Here we go. It makes total sense that you believe alcohol is good for your health when you take into account the hundreds of articles you've probably seen promoting this research. Yes, I've seen them. It's no accident that many drinkers can quote scientific studies and comparative mortality rates between drinkers and non-drinkers. It's easy to convince ourselves that there may be some truth to these articles because we haven't experienced the opposite and because it makes us feel better about our choices. I haven't I'm drinking and I haven't got the heart disease, so it must be good. After all, if you've never had a heart attack or stroke, who's to say the 3 bottles of wine you drink every night aren't contributing to that? Good point. You have Alzheimer's, so it's possible your alcohol consumption has something to do with that. Antioxidants are good for us, so the wine you drink with antioxidants must be good for you too. Okay, our brains are excellent at rationalizing, and the alcohol industry counts on that. They're onto us, they're selling it to us, they want to make money. So when the alcohol industry, they promote this kind of pseudo-scientific reporting, is these reports sponsored and paid for by the alcohols companies? Maybe. The fact is, there are a handful of studies claiming that alcohol is good for you. Some of them were even funded, here we go, by the alcohol industry itself. That's what I guessed. Here we go. And there are thousands of studies that prove the exact opposite. There are more studies that prove the opposite. They don't want us to know that, do they? They won't sell any alcohol. The difference is that the positive studies get far more attention than the negative ones. Why do you suppose that is? Maybe I should do some Googling just to check this, because I do have that the belief that moderation, it's good for you. First of all, people share information based on something called social currency. If you think an article will raise people's opinion of me, then I'll share it. If the post makes me look funny, smart, or righteously outraged, I'm much more likely to send it along to all my friends. It's like, oh, look at him, he's smart, and he's confirming my already beliefs. He's sending me an article I agree with. It's good. Our friends hang around us because we all think and believe more or less the same things. So if I drink and I believe it's healthy, there's a good chance my friends do too. And all we want are our beliefs confirmed by science. So as long as I believe that science report, I know my friends will believe it too. I'm going, here, let's all show evidence to support our current belief structure. So I may share an article about alcohol lowering cholesterol so that all of us can feel better about our drinking habits. Yay! Secondly, there's a marketing concept that familiarity breeds belief. The more often you hear or see something, the more likely you are to believe it, which explains a lot of what goes on in politics. Ooh, let's not talk about politics. So every time you see a health benefit touted, toot toot, in a social media post or blog article, it reinforces your belief that alcohol is healthy in moderation, reinforcing what we already think. Economics comes into play here too. Journalists make money by writing popular articles that get attention. They live and die by their likes, clicks, and engagement. They are focused on more engagement than maybe telling the truth. Otherwise, they won't get paid? Question mark. The more readers who see an article, the more advertising is sold, and the more value those journalists bring to those news or online organizations. Telling people that drinking is healthy gets clicks. I want to read that. That sounds good. And these days, it doesn't seem to matter if the information is taken out of context or even completely fabricated. We believe alcohol is healthy in moderation because our friends tell us, the media tells us, the scientific our studies tell us it's true. We've heard it so many times, it's just become, that's common knowledge. A glass of red wine a night. Good for you. I think that's common knowledge. So is drinking really healthy for us? Since thousands upon thousands of studies typically aren't reported on, these ones, let's look at the most obvious evidence we can find. Here we go. How about vomiting? That's normal, right? If we drink too much, we throw up. If you think about the mechanics of vomit, it's actually pretty miraculous. Our bodies have an automatic rejection reflex if we ingest anything that's harmful to us. We don't die because our bodies know better. Unfortunately, alcohol is an anesthetic and numbs our gag reflex. It numbs our gag reflex. So then we can't survive. If we've drunk too much, our body can't gag it up. Which means we don't vomit as soon as we should, given how much we've consumed. Why am I laughing at this? So the poison takes effect and we get hangovers. Sometimes we even come to believe that worshipping the porcelain throne is a badge of honor. Yeah, mate. Driving the puke bus. Look at me. I'm working today even though I'm super hungover. He's a go-getter. He's tough. Give them a prize. The internal evidence is staring you right in the face as it pours out of you in rivers. Rivers. There's a river of life flowing out through me. And it's gross. How can something your body reacts to so negatively be good for you? Let's also look more closely at the popularly cited evidence to support the idea that alcohol is good for us. We've all heard about the health benefits of resveratrol and antioxidants in wine. There are ways to get those same antioxidants without addictive and life-destroying effects. But let's say, for the sake of argument, that we think the research shows alcohol is good for our hearts. Yeah, we can get the stuff that's good for our heart in other drinks, I guess. There are scientists who study scientific studies. Ooh, the scientists who study scientists. They pull together all the data on the participants and they analyze the findings until they come up with their own conclusions. A study published in the British Medical Journal looked at this idea that alcohol is heart healthy. It analyzed the drinking habits and the cardiovascular health of over 250,000 people and concluded that a reduction in alcohol consumption, even for light to moderate drinkers, is beneficial for cardiovascular health. The reduction in alcohol consumption is beneficial. But wait, don't drinkers live longer than non-drinkers? Yeah. One widely popular study, the Haliyan study, has been widely publicized in mainstream news outlets like CBS News, Time, Medical News Today's. Its creator, Mr. Charles J. Haliyan, I can't say it, claims that people who drink live longer than abstainers. I think it's worth taking the time to analyze this study a bit so you can see where this social belief comes from. Woof, We're going to get scientific. The study took 1,824 people ages 55 to 65 and then looked at how many were alive 20 years later. So from 1,824, 1,479 were drinkers and only 345 were not. That's a huge difference. They found that the high percentage of non-drinkers had died during the period of the study. So they found a correlation between drinking and death. Correlation is not causation. They did not measure or account for the cause of death at all. They could have got hit by a bus. And they're like, yeah, he wasn't drinking. He died earlier. So we have no idea how these people died. If you look more deeply into the study, you'll find that they say the abstainers were more likely to have had prior problems with alcohol. Oh, so even if they're abstaining now, they could have been alcoholics 2 days before, and they did one of these 33 days alcohol free, and now they're in the non-drinking, only 345 people, which is why they didn't drink. Yeah, because they've had to cut back because they're alcoholics. Interesting. It also goes on to say that they were more likely to be obese and smoke cigarettes. In the 345, they were obese. They smoked cigarettes, but they didn't drink alcohol. Come on. We're saying that drinkers lived longer based on a study of only 345 people who had prior alcohol problems and were obese and were smoking. Really? Think about that for a second. Are you willing to risk your health based on such a small, skewed sample? That experiment must have been supported and funded by the alcohol industry. According to the World Health Organization, alcohol can damage nearly every organ and system in the body. Its use contributes to more than 60 diseases and conditions. Well, I guess that's maybe a more correct study. The WHO also reports that alcohol has suppressed AIDS as the lead risk factor for death among males between the ages of 15 and 59. And a groundbreaking and incredibly comprehensive global study came out in 2018 stating that there is in fact no safe level of drinking. Not even a single drink, even on occasion. It's detrimental to your health. In a study of the harmful effects of 20 different drugs, alcohol in as the most, 20 different drugs, alcohol came in as the most dangerous drug. It's most harmful than heroin or crack. When you look at the ratio between toxicological threshold, or how much it will take to kill you, and estimated human intake. Wow. The Internal Agency for Research on Cancer declared alcohol a carcinogen in 1988. Not only is alcohol pure ethanol, which is extremely toxic, but it can contain at least 15 other carcinogenic compounds, including arsenic, formaldehyde, and lead. We've also known alcohol causes cancer for 30 years, and yet it's news for most drinkers. I did not know cancer was linked to alcohol. New news for me. Like, cancer is always connected to cigarettes. No matter how little or what type of alcohol you're drinking, you're increasing your risk of cancer of the breast, mouth, throat, rectum, liver, esophagus, and other organs. Cancer Research UK says there is no safe limit for alcohol when it comes to cancer. Why don't we know this? Yeah, why is this new for me? People just don't talk about such things. The term drink responsibly came from the alcohol industry itself. It wants you to feel good about your drinking, think that you're being socially responsible. If you're a responsible drinker, you're a good part of society. You should be rewarded with cancer. Never mind that you're probably killing yourself. I know this is depressing. It should make you angry. But the good news is that any reduction in alcohol consumption lowers your risk for cancer. The fact that you're reading this book and taking a break is helping your body heal itself. We're doing this. We'll keep going. It's incredible to me that in our society more attention is given to the side effects of even the most benign prescription drugs, which must all be listed individually in the advertisement. Yet there is no disclaimer in alcohol ads. I never noticed that. Oh, next time I see an alcohol ad, I'll have a look. Fortunately, you can decide for yourself. Now that you know some of the risks and the ways that science gets reported, take some time to think. We haven't got time. We've got to keep moving. I was just pointing at the clock. I'm like, ugh, don't want to go too late. Don't want to keep you up late. Take some time to think about what you're truly doing to yourself. Is it worth the risk of our amazing body and our personalities get to live in it? And do we want our personality, spirit, soul to leave this earth quicker? My dad died of cancer. And yeah. So let's turn the beat around. The opposite of alcohol is healthy in moderation. Maybe we're now thinking, because of this extra knowledge, the truth will set you free. Alcohol is not healthy in moderation. And as long as you're decreasing the amount of alcohol, you're helping your body. So as long as you're drinking less and less and less, come up with as many ways as you can that the opposite is true or truer in your life than the original belief. Well, me drinking, the way I drink, it's not responsible. I tend to be a binge drinker. It's either I'm getting drunk or I'm not. So the way I drink is not healthy for my body. And I thought I was going to do the what I thought was healthy red wine glass, and you know what I'm saying. Thanks for joining me again. I'm feeling better tonight. You probably noticed a bit different. I'm a bit different, a bit more perpy, and hopefully not too annoying with my silly voices. Excellent. I'll see you tomorrow. You know the deal. Be kind to yourself. We're trying something new. We're just scientists doing an experiment. My head does feel clearer, like that people were talking about fog lifting. I do feel clearer today. I was feeling sick yesterday, so woke up, whoa, I'm feeling really good. So I don't know what was going on with that. Like I said, I'm 2 days ahead of you. If you're following this, I started not drinking 2 days before I started this video series. So watch out for that. Get some vitamin C and echinacea to give your immunity system a hand, as well as the other stuff that I mentioned in the other videos, the pills that I'm taking, the supplements that I'm taking, I should say, to help liver detox as well as sleeping at night. Anyway, I'll see you tomorrow. Sleep well.